Hi, I'm Kurt with Travers Tool Company. Have you ever had to machine something and put like a hex on the end of it like this bolt has, or maybe a square or something that had any angle or series of angles? So this is a spin fixture and it's ideal for doing just that. So let's get into it and I'll show you how one of these things works. Okay, so let's see how to use this little tool. So first thing we need to do is figure out what collet we need. It does take a 5C collet. So all 5C collets are the same on the outside. Notice that little groove we have running right down the side. That lines up with a pin on the inside to prevent the collet from twisting and turning in there when you don't want it to. Also, they all have threads on the outside. That's going to be significant for this. They also have threads on the inside, but that's for a work stop, so we're not going to be using that today. The threads on the outside will screw right into this handle, and that's how it's tightened into the indexing fixture. Okay, so I already mentioned that groove. So to get it to line up, just slide it in and then just turn it a little bit until you feel it drop in. Where is it? There we go. There it is. Drops all the way in. So you see how when I push the collet in, the handle comes out. When I push the handle in, the collet comes out. So I know they're touching each other. Okay, so now I'm going to screw the handle onto the outside threads on the collet, but I'm not going to tighten it until I put my piece in. This just happens to be a bolt I had laying around, but it's the right size, so I'm going to slide that in there and finish tightening. So I'm just moving the pin so I can get that the right angle and make it good and tight. Okay, so that bolt's a good tight fit in there now. So here's what we do. First, we're going to set the numbers to 0. To do that, you pull the pin out. Might need to give it a little twist to come out. So you see the white numbers around the disc. I'm going to bring it to 0. And when I say bring it to 0, I'm lining it up with the point. I'm not using these numbers yet. I will in a minute. I'm just using the white number and lining it up to that point engraved on the machine surface. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to insert this pin into this hole. That hole has a 0 by it. So that means 0 degrees. I'm adding no degrees to it. So this means it's on 0 degrees. Okay, so I'll mount this in my vise or clamp it to the table, however I'm going to mount it to the milling machine or even a grinder, and just machine the first surface. And then after I'm finished with that, I'm going to pull the pin out again. In this case, let's just say I'm machining a hex, just like we have on here now. So I need to go to 60 degrees. Keep the pin in the 0 location. So the white number is on the 6. The pin is in the 0. Now this will be 60 degrees from the first time I machined it. And then so on. So for the next one, it's going to be 120 degrees. And I'm just moving the disc around until that pin goes in, making sure it's in there all the way. And I'm machining the next side of the bolt and so on. Just keep on turning it. Okay, so what are these numbers for then? Well, kind of glad you asked about that. So let's bring it back to 0. And as I mentioned, this is 0 degrees. So this first number is on the black piece is a number 1. That doesn't mean 1 degree. It means 10 degrees, and the reason being this is a 1 and the pin is in the 0. So a 1 and a 0 is 10 degrees. So if I move the pin over to the 1, see that 1 right there? That's where the pin is located. Now I have 0 plus 1, or 1 degree. Okay, so just going to spin it randomly, shove the pin back in there, and I'm always going by that little arrow. Okay, so this little arrow right here is pointing pretty close to the 9. So I'm at 9 and 1, or 91 degrees. Now you need to be careful if you get over to this side. I'm going to put it on the 8, putting the pin in the hole by the 8, and I'm just going to put it in there anywhere. And now our little arrow is real close to the 7. All right, you see that 7 right there? But it's not 70 degrees. Because we're on the 8, it's before 70 degrees. So you always go to the right. With that arrow in the center, you go to the right of it. Never go to the left of it. So I'm at 6 plus 8. So it's 68 degrees in this particular location. So that's how that works. It's pretty simple. I mean, here's the 5. So putting it in here, there's a 12 and a 5, or 125 degrees, and it works the same way all around the circumference on it. Okay, so I'm sure you noticed this little thing over here. All this is just a little bit of an extra safety feature. So when you tighten that down, you can pull the pin down and it locks it in place. That's all that does. All right, so now if we finish the part we're working on and we want to pop it out of there, pretty easy to do, right? So let's get this handle in a good location. Just give it a tap. And so I have it, I'm unscrewing it. I don't want to unscrew it too much, but it's still stuck in there. So what you need to do is just give this a little bit of a tap at the other end, and it comes right out. The collet is tapered, so that little tap is just enough to break the lock on the taper, since the taper is still held into the spin fixture. And that's how that works. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I hope that by watching this video, it helped you to discover a new way to do this kind of work. Hope it makes your job easier and even more enjoyable. If you have any comments about it or ideas for other videos, go ahead and comment on it below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. See you next time.